You look lovely, Tracy.
Yeah, I just took a shower so I can get some energy because I haven't slept.
Well, hello.
Hi, Jennifer. It is nice to meet you. I am Tracy.
Pleasure is mine. Well, thank you guys for having me on your podcast. I am pretty excited about this. I was on another podcast. It was a Jeff Mara show, actually, and that was pretty cool. I thought that was awesome. But yeah, so this is my second podcast on this kind of outlet. So thank you guys for considering to chat with me today.
Absolutely. I am lyndsybluepixie. Welcome to Indigo Goddesses, everyone. We have the beautiful Jennifer here, as well as Tracy's here with me as well. And Jennifer, I would just love you to introduce yourself, kind of tell us a little bit about your journey, and yeah, like, you're an amazing being and just want to hear about you.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I'm going to start at my birth. And I know that sounds very cliche. However, when I was born by mystical experiences. I was born a miracle. I wasn't supposed to live. And my mom, she was quite intuitive. And she was in the ICU, and they told her that either she was going to die or the unborn baby was going to die in her belly, and that the unborn baby, which was me, was very deformed and wasn't going to make it. So, to try to save her life. And my mom refused and said, I'm not going to let you guys take the baby from me. And the doctors came over and put the stethoscopes on her belly, and they said there was no heartbeat. And so my mom told them, go get another one, go get another doctor. Another doctor came in, checked. Another doctor came in, checked. And sure enough, there was no heartbeat. And so I had a near-death experience in the womb of my mother, and which is quite interesting. And I guess my grandmother wrote in her diary at the exact same time and day that all this went down. She said that she saw this little girl in her room at the edge of her bed, comforting her, letting her know that everything was going to be okay. And then my grandmother wrote in her diary that she said that the energy, the female or feminine energy, said, I need to go. My mom is worrying about me, but I'll see you again. And so I went right back into the physical body, the vessel of who I am now. And the heartbeat came back, and I wasn't handicapped or enabled. And so my mom knew that I was a miracle, and I was even in the newspapers and in a little book called Touched by the Spirit, to inspire people even at birth. So I knew I had a big mission on this earth, and I already came into this earth with a very loving, kind, unity, consciousness spirit. So anybody who made fun of another human being, or if they were different or different color or different, like handicapped, special needs, mental health, doesn't matter. I've always just had a special place in my heart to let them know how wonderful they are, and that we're all equal and beautiful in our own way. And I've lived my life that way. I have gone through the dark night of the soul and really have learned a lot through. I was abused as a child. Because of my kind spirit, a lot of the negative energies, I guess you could say, have tried to steer me away from knowing who I truly am. So I kind of got lost in the mid-teens, got married at 14 and pregnant, and my journey began there. Got remarried, had a few more kids, got remarried, had a few more kids, dealt with the low self-esteem issues, things like that all women do from being abused as a child. And I was raised LDS, but I knew that there was a lot more than meets the eye. And so I kind of was the black sheep of the family and went on my own gut and just knew that everybody, no matter what religion you are, I've never voted in my life. I'm not into division of any sort. I'm just one of those really united. We're all human beings here to try to make this world a better place, and it starts with us. And we're the change that we need to see. And so then I created my own YouTube channel. It's called Enlighten and Inner Transformation. I started teaching at the New Hope Crisis Center for Mental Health and Anger Management, and help people with special needs and homeless people. And then I wrote a book, and I'm like ADHD and can't read very well and spell very well. So it was really hard for me to write, but I wrote this little book called The Higher View. And it's only like 80 some odd pages, but it talks about my story and a little bit of things that will help people. I also created a new perspective of living courses for that I volunteer just to teach people about their generational trauma transfers and who we are physically and what we are within and all that we can do. And then I got cancer. And they said, I found a lump in my breast, and I thought, well, that's interesting. Well, how is this going to play out in my development on this earth? And because I know everything's for a reason, the negative things that have gone on in my life and the divorces and up to who I am today has really strengthened me. And so I was pretty actually excited to figure out whose lives this was going to change, not let alone mine. But I know that I have a big mission and a big light that what I do and go through is a ripple and affects everybody around me and also the cosmos and the earth. And so I'm like, wow, this is going to be really cool. What's going to happen here? And so I wasn't afraid. I went instantly on a high vibrational diet. I changed everything. I perform most of my life as well with my husband performing, singing with the Hearts of Steel band. And we just stopped everything. So it was one of those stop, evaluate, no more smoking, no more drinking alcohol, processed foods, sugars, the poisons that are in our natural, waters, and the whole 9 yards. I really did a big 360 on, and but the tumor was growing really fast. It was stage 3 of 3 cancer, and it was very aggressive. They said it was a rare kind that they said I had about 8 weeks before it would grow into stage 4. And so I thought, well, geez, how am me as a spiritual individual, am I going to I knew that I had a choice. Do I want to make my exit plan this way, or do I want to make my exit plan that way? And so I was like, what's going to be best for the all, And I knew an instant death wouldn't be good for people because there's a lot that rely on me, and they could go downhill from an instant death. So I was thinking, maybe a slow, sweet death and wrap up everything, make sure everybody's in there where they need to go. And that was okay to make my exit plan. I was like, okay, I can see where this is going. I'll pass with no regrets and get everything out there in the world that I needed to. So I kind of was thinking maybe I was gonna probably be exiting soon. And so I wrote a song called When's a Good Time to Love Amongst the Chaos. And I just started living life to its fullest and doing the best that I could with what I could, with all my knowledge and physically, mentally, spiritually, and accepting death. And not having any attachments. And then all of a sudden, it dawned on me, well, maybe I can change my story. And so I decided, I think I want to live longer and beat cancer and be the story. I know I'm going to die one day. So even if I beat cancer in this terminal illness right now, I'm still, one day going to perish somehow. It's part of the growth of our expansion is to learn how to die. And so I thought, I'll just live more adventures. I'll live maybe to, instead of 48, I'll live to 84. And I'll go and I'll travel and I'll speak and I'll just give as much love and advice and hope to those that will listen. And I think that sounds good. I think I'll do that and be there and be present for those who need a guiding light, or just like a little angel on the earth kind of thing, and a little light. And I kid you not, after I decided that, it was about, I wasn't even through with my first chemo session. It was like the first three, like I had to go like 4 or 5 times of treatments. It was about my third time of treatment, and it was gone. I couldn't feel a lump no more. I was like, I think the cancer's gone. Like, I told the doctor, go get an MRI because I don't think I have cancer anymore. And they're like, oh, you need to go get a few more months, even 6 months to a year of chemo. Then we're going to give you radiation and we're going to get you on these pills and everything. And I said, no, I don't think I have cancer anymore. I could feel it in me. And so I said, please get an MRI and just see if it's in there or not. And they said, okay, just finished like 2 more of these chemo treatments of the red devil, which was extraordinarily harsh on my body. And I lost all my hair. I got really, really sick. I looked like a white, pale albino bat or something. It was so strange to look at myself. But, it was really cool to learn because it stripped away everything, kind of like monks have to go through, they shaved off everything. And to be humble enough to go in public and to still shine and be humble, and especially me being in the limelight and on stage a lot and performing and around to lots of states. And so that was very, very, very a great lesson for me to lose all my hair and get sick like that for a little while. But anyhow, the MRI showed that there was no cancer. They couldn't see anything. And I said, great, do a lumpectomy, just take out a little area where that skin was or whatever, and I don't ever want to see you again. And they're like, well, this is not how that works. And I says, well, no, this is how it's going to work. And so I told them what to do. And so they went and did the lumpectomy, and they said they found just a little bit in there, like a 0.7 milliliter or whatever. And they took it out. And then I did 5 rounds of radiation after that. And I didn't take the hormone pill, and I've never gone back since. And so basically I did cure and fix the cancer in less than 4 months. 4 months. And it's only been 8 months to this day that I found the cancer, but I've aged a lot. I lost all my hair. My body went through a lot of interesting, pain. And I've learned how to respect and honor my physical vehicle while I exist in it, so that I can do all that I need to on this earth. And now I'm here with you guys today, and I've also know that I have a lot of support, like not just in physical form, but I have, and I know that I have a lot of support in all the other dimensions and realms. Like I feel them. I'm in between 2 worlds as we speak now because of this. And so this cancer journey just locked in everything that I needed to finish out my life mission the way that I planned. So that's who I am today.
I love that. That's such an amazing story. I align with a lot of what you're saying. I don't know. Do you know Doris Cannon and Julia Cannon?
Of course. Of
I
course,
love
yes.
the Cannon's book, Soul Speaks. Every time I have something going on with my body, I use that as a reference to figure out, okay, what do I need to do internally? And I really believe that that's what you did, was you were just, I'm dropping everything and focusing on me. And it's, it sounds so easy, but it isn't, because you really do, you let go of so many attachments, and we have so many connections with everything. I mean, like, our phone is a connection, our children is a connection, food is a connection. And if you don't have those good connections with those things, then they destroy the body. So it's your vessel. You can't just go to a dealership and get a new one. So I'm so
Exactly.
happy that you went through this. I mean, it's horrible, it really is, but I'm happy because it sounds like you're the person that's going to take what you've learned, and you're going to help other people, and you're going to teach them what you know, versus I feel a lot of the medical industry now is guessing, because they're so misguided, because they're practicing
Exactly.
medicine and they're not actually talking to the individual and figuring out what's going on internally. So I really love your
Oh,
story for that
exactly.
aspect.
It was a big awakening for me. I mean, spiritually wise, I've always leaned on not dwelling with the drama that's going on with the world and the news and the political status, and none of that bothers me at all. It doesn't affect me emotionally at all. However, if it was like, wow, somebody needs to tell people that they're in control of their own body. And we've given our power away so much. And everything that's disguised in the foods and the poisons and their plan, their agenda, versus our agenda to rise up and create a more healthier, happier, harmonious way to live on this planet with all human existence united as one. That mentality is just barely rising up. And I believe people need to, that are aware of what's going on, say, what am I, like, what can I do physically for real? Like, how does the body work? And do I need to be on a pill that's going to create problems? If you take a pill, there's 1,000 other side effects. Why take that and gain more problems? Why don't just heal the problem and not have to rely on any pills either? But it's hard. It's a hard balance to be able to trust what's healthy, what's not. Beat the system, that we're in, and the matrix that we're in, that have us programmed a particular way that won't allow us to function and flourish and grow to our fullest potential. And it's a little disheartening when you figure all that out. But there are people, and I guess, I don't know if you want to call them light workers, people that are waking up right now, on the scientific level, multi-universe level, neurologically, wiring and firing different, neurosaps in the brain, with Dr. Joe Dispenza. I love his work as well. I love Dolores Cannon. I love people that are receptacles and channeling. I love Brasseur, Abraham Hicks, Next Level Soul. Actually, that's the awesome podcast that's interviewing tons of people from histories from all the way back to Egypt to all the way to now. I mean, I'm just so soaking in every information that's out there possible, to align myself enough so that my energy and vibration is helping and others to change too, because I understand that that's the only way we're going to change as a race, as a human race. And so I know that's just why I'm here on the earth. It's just the craziest thing ever. And so wherever people want to listen or understand their own selves and how to take control, gosh, I'm just right there. I also, when I had I had to face, like, I went through my own second death, I guess you could say, with having cancer and getting really, 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 really sick. Um, that there's a lot going on with emotions and the way that we think. And so we've got to be really careful of how we speak and the words that we display outside of our bodies, because we can cure ourselves or help ourselves longevity, or we can actually create dis-ease just through our speech, and the way that we speak to ourselves and to others and about others when they're not even there. And I'm not joking you. I am just so grateful for everything I've been through. And I even went through, like I said, a second death. So I go back to that second death where I did a life review. I've gone all the way back as far as I can imagine in every single little detail of my life, and tried to heal those that I may have hurt, and to send love and understanding to each life lesson that I may have had to endure, whether in, victimhood mentality, or if I was abused, love and forgive the abuser, be the teacher that I wish that I had, kind of thing, and just send all the love and heal all the generational energetic ties, from my generation and bloodline all the way down. I mean, I've had the time to do that, and what a blessing to be able to have the opportunity to even just think about doing that for myself, So it's a big rebirth, like a butterfly, a transformation that I appreciate every little moment, every little flower, every little bee, every little life form. I think about it. If I squish this bee or this ant, like that's it. That's it's done with its ant experience on this planet. And so I respect things a little bit more. Like, hey, they might want to adventure and go eat a little apple before they die, or carry some food home, to their, to learn their little life mission. And so, yeah, just everything is just so much, so thankful for. And every little moment I get to spend with like my grandkids, or like I have 7 kids and I have 7 grandkids. And I know that every single thing that I do and every way that I make another person feel is what's going to stay with them. And I may not take my last breath in 1 minute from now. So what did I leave behind? Like, that is so prevalent to me and so powerful when you step into that power. It's so amazing to be. I just don't know how to explain it, but I'm so thankful for sure.
Can you guys hear? Okay, there we go. Thank you. So I love all of what you said. Some key things that stood out to me was when you were talking about like the medical industry and things. I think about the hypocrisy of the hypocrisy of the Hippocratic oath,
Barbaric and very sad.
because hypocrisy himself said, if you are a fool if you are not your own doctor. So the whole thing is just hilarious to me. It's everything is frequency and vibration. So
Exactly.
as a energy worker, as a healer, or I'm not a healer, I see the stuck things. Everyone has to heal themselves, and I can get like inklings or like energy visions of why it's stuck, but ultimately everyone has to heal themselves. And when I was in school, one of the things that stood out to me the most is they said energy, or like pain, is just trapped energy. So anything that we have had dis-ease, like you said, it first it's like an energetic pain, and then it can solidify. So there's stages of this, and if you don't deal with those pains and things on the surface right away, they will solidify in your body, and become something that isn't good for you because you haven't dealt with it. So the energy is going to go somewhere. And so what I have learned is letting go and forgiving and not holding on. Like, even if someone hurt your feelings, you don't know what their perspective is, and someone hurt them. And for you to, I say all the time, being angry at someone else for something they did is like drinking poison to hurt someone else. Like, it's not hurting them, it's just hurting you. And so even if you don't talk to someone, you can say, I forgive you, I release you, I let you go. And I've just forgiven, and forgiving yourself for holding on to things. Because sometimes I get upset with myself and I have a hard time getting angry at people because I see the higher picture. I see their trauma and I see the behaviors and I like their child, and I'm like, okay, who yelled at you? But at the same time, I need to allow myself to be angry at the behavior that's coming to me, because even if it doesn't make it okay. Like, we're not responsible for our traumas, but we are responsible for not perpetuating our traumas. And so it's okay to be angry at people's behaviors. Pardon me, it's so loud. um it's okay to be angry at people's behaviors and still love them unconditionally and understand why they did it, but honor your own feelings that the behaviors are not okay, that people did that to you, and honor that you recognize that. And if you need to walk away from something, it doesn't mean that you don't care about that person. It's just sometimes you need to walk away from behaviors for your own peace of mind.
Right, for your own safety. You know, another way, a new perspective that I've learned, because I also have one of my oldest daughters, she's got pretty big mental health issues, and are narcissistic, and she's one of those that are a huge catalyst to trigger me, to try to break my peacefulness, and where you have to feel like you got to defend yourself or yell back or something like that, right? And so I've learned, though, which I'm grateful for her. I mean, a lot of people, they can't handle her energetic field. It is one where, you know, you've got to expand your field, and you've got to expect that they're going to say something when they switch, because there's like a nice them, and then when they switch and you see that hurting that you're talking about, and you feel sorry for them because you know that they're dealing with traumas, and that's why they're yelling at you, because they're mirroring how they're hurting inside and things like that. But it's so hard when they're spitting in your face, yelling at you and putting you down, not to lose your own crap at the same time. And so I get tested on, I would say, a weekly basis, and I use it as a test. How can I allow her to be who she is and play the role of my catalyst, and be able to not allow myself to drop my energetic field at the same time? Because as soon as I try to defend myself and yell back at her, she's already won. You know, the energy already lowers, right? And then you become out of control, and then now you look like the dumb one because you finally got up and started yelling and going, escalated it and everything else. And then now the energy is just firing up, and everybody in the house is upset, and then the cops are called. So I've learned how to de-escalate others by not allowing them to trigger me. But it takes a lot of practice. It's like major practice, and I appreciate it. It makes me a better me, and I honestly can send them loves. I've learned a lot of Ho'oponopono, and, you know, so I just say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And because I also know now that that person hurting and the other person, and that energy that's within that other vehicle, actually is a part of mine. We're all connected. And so I try to visualize, if it was me hurting this bad and yelling at another person, what advice would I want to give? What would I need at that time? If there was somebody to help me calm down or understand life, you know, without having to lash out at others to make myself feel better. And so I step myself into those shoes, and I really honestly send them as much love as possible. And I do my best to try to not allow myself to get rattled by it, but see through it and without judgment, and love them for their anger, and at the highest form. And I understand that that's even as something for me to learn, them having to trigger me. Sometimes it makes me a better individual when I have bad days, or when people or somebody said, you can't do this, and you're a girl and you shouldn't be mowing the lawn, or like, being a mechanic or something. I'd be like, really? Let me show you what I can do. So sometimes those kinds of bad days, when I have really negative bad days and domestic violence and problems going on, and I know that there's a learning experience from it. So I get excited now. And it's just a different perspective, a different way to look at it, which even empowers you and helps the other individual all at the same time. So I'm thankful for having a daughter that has that kind of character that she's playing in my behalf to make me a stronger individual today.
Absolutely. It's so funny because when you see that higher perspective, like you're just all in love. And so it's like, because you're just like, okay, like this person is hurting. My daughter has had a lot of trauma and she has BPD. So but it's gotten better because she's in a safe environment now and she is healing. And I see that. And also it's helped because I don't react. I'm just there with her and I help calm her down and not shaming her for this thing that's happened because of the trauma. And it will
Exactly.
never heal if people get upset with her about it, because then it will just exacerbate it.
Right, because they're going to win and they'll do everything to win. Then it even gets worse and then worse and then worse. And then, yeah, now you're locked up and lost your freedom, or you accidentally hurt somebody. And yeah, it's, I've definitely lived with that. And but I'm thankful for it. I really am. I really am. We all need our little catalysts in life. And yeah, and I wish the best for her, though. I wish sometimes, I think she's played her role good enough for me. Let her free from that, let her not have to live through so much frustration and anger anymore. I get it. She was my catalyst, and so I'm like, give her a break, I'm grateful for her. I don't need her to be my catalyst no more. Let's free her so she can live a peaceful life with her kids and find love and open up with others and have a relationship.
It's gonna click. It's
It muted
stopping,
you.
so I'll send you the other link because it's gonna end right now. Oh,
Sorry.
program.
I think
So something that I'd like to talk about is energy mirroring, which is something that empaths do a lot. And sometimes if you are an empath, you don't even realize that you're doing it. And a really good example of this is when you're in a room and somebody else walks in and you immediately feel their angry energy. And that's a great moment for somebody to be like, okay, this is not my energy. This is your energy. And I think that that's what happens a lot is you were speaking of your daughter. And I have these issues with my daughter because, we're all women are so hormonal. We fluctuate. One day could be great. The next day we're bawling in the shower. Like it, and sometimes we don't even know why we're bawling, right? And I spoke to Lindsay about this is sometimes I think there's things that happen on the other side of the planet. And because we are so open to feeling energies, we feel this energy of just unbelievable sadness. We don't know where the sadness is coming from, but we're being asked to observe it. We're being asked to feel it. We're being asked to feel it so that it can be released back to wherever it needs to go. And a lot of times, because we have such these chaotic lives, we think that, oh, it's whatever is happening to me right now, and that's why I'm sad, and then that's the reason, and I'm going to be sad because of that reason. And sometimes it's not even that. It could just be something completely different. And so I read this book. It's a body whispering book. And what it was talking about is the first thing you do when you feel an emotion is ask yourself, is this my energy? And if it's light, it's your energy. If it's heavy, it's somebody else's energy, because it's heavy, it's a burden. This is just an amazing thing, because the moment I feel an emotion, doesn't matter what it is, it could be anxiety, it could be fear, it could be sadness, I start questioning my body and asking my body, what do I need to know? And I just sit with it. And I posted this thing, I think it was yesterday, Lindsay, on our page, and it talked about creativity, stillness, and what was the other one? Problem solving. And when you sit in stillness, creativity and problem solving can vibrate into your awareness. And I think that's really important, because I've also told Lindsay that when we have miscommunications, it's usually because Jennifer's vibrating up here and Lindsay's vibrating down here, and we have to meet somewhere, right? And most people can't raise. They can't, when they're in anger, they can't just let go of that anger and be like, oh, I'm happy again. It doesn't work that way, especially not for me. Like sometimes I will just message somebody and just be like, I am in a rut. Get me out of this rut, because I can't do it by myself. I need help. And I think it's very important to have those people in your life that can just knock you out of whatever energy you're in, so that you can see that different perspective. Because like you spoke before, Jennifer, you said that with your all the things that you've been through, you could have been like, oh, great, another thing happening in my life. And that's the perspective that you're going into the lesson with. And when you do that, you're only going to receive that perspective of that energy. When you can shift into different energies, you can see a billion. I was going to say a word that I can't pronounce. I caught myself. It would have been funny, but there's so many different perspectives you can see by shifting into those different energies. And so when we get into those loops of woulda, shoulda, coulda, I don't really think it's a bad thing. I think it's what you were talking about before, where you can review the situation in timelines that didn't happen, but you can still learn those lessons by, oh, if I would have said this, then maybe this would have happened, or maybe it would have been a better outcome. But at the end, it wasn't the vibration that you were in, and that's why you didn't choose that scenario. And so I think when you start looking at everything like that, you can really see how your timeline just goes all day long in every direction. It's not a straight line. It's not even up, it's not even an up and down, it's everywhere. You can go in any direction.
Yeah. I love that. The thing that I have been aware of is the different possibilities. Like there are endless possibilities to create that better outcome, and that you can literally deliberately select which path you want to go on, or which timeline, or what you want to experience, if you're aware of that little power that we have of choosing which path you want to go down. Others that are lost, they forget that their power, they forget that they don't have a choice, or there is no other way. This is just the way life is, and I have to just deal with what it is. But there are other possibilities that you can choose, and you can choose the probable one. If I do this, this will probably happen, and this is probably more favorable for me, so let me attempt this route and see how far I can take it with my highest excitement and joy. And then whatever.
Uh-oh. No, she got cut out. I was gonna say, oh my gosh, Jennifer, you cut out for a minute. You were saying lovely things.
Okay. Yeah, all these different possibilities that we can take. I think I've learned through my life adventure so is that we actually choose these possibilities. And that's how we take our power back and stand in our authenticity, following our highest joy and the best outcome possible. No matter if it's a disease, if it's your kids, if it's an emotion, or I'll tell you too about your emotions. I get some of those emotions, like you said, the women got those hormones going on, and they're
All right, maybe we should.
I can't hear you either.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Oh my God, that's such a big microphone.
Wait, can you hear me now?
Why is your microphone so big?
all right.
Sorry, Jennifer.
No,
She
you're
popped up her
good, you're good.
microphone, and I was like, oh my God, everybody uses the tiny ones.
It was a gift.
I
And
love
it worked.
Yeah, you sound great.
But
May I-
anyhow, yeah. So I'm so happy for those possibilities that we can create, and if each and every one of us can try to remember that we're not stuck, and when we have emotions that are frustrating and sad within us, we do need to face them and sit with them. What I do is I actually admit out loud, I'm feeling emotional today. I may not understand what that emotion is, but it feels irritating inside, like I need to get it out of me. And I'll literally do a breathing exercise, and really put in some air into all the cells of my body, and breathe out that energy that's in me. It's almost like I can feel light energy, like little light sparkles come in me through my nose, and then I blow out this warm, dark, as much as possible as I can breathe out. And I'll do that until I feel a little bit more relieved, because I don't know what it is, but to me, inside of me, and I'm sure it's within everyone else, that energy has to be released somehow. And we all have it, and it builds up in there, and it could be something trapped from a long time ago. But that's my easiest trick, is to literally stop and breathe in and roar it out, even, just get it out like a big, energy just coming right on out that does no longer serve your highest good. And until I'm back into my alignment space, and sit and observe. So that's what I usually do when I get those frustrations within. I ask why I'm having it, and then breathe it out. And it's usually sets me okay, and my emotions straight. And others will know, hey, she said she's feeling a little emotional today. Let's honor and respect her as well. And so that usually goes over really well. It's just to be helpful on that for you.
I do that with my children when they are feeling big energies as well. I try to get them to voice that, so that their siblings, so that they know, okay, today's not a day to poke and prod each other because somebody's not in a good energy. And I'm making my children really aware of that, because nobody taught me that. Nobody taught me that. When it took me to get, like, I don't know, maybe like I was 18 to realize that if I don't get enough sleep, I am not a nice person. So, just tell me to go take a nap if I'm not being nice. And I will, I'll obey.
Exactly. And the one thing is that I always try to think of, I understand that my energy is powerful. Everybody's energy is powerful. So I'm talking about for the whole. And I understand that if I'm having a bad day and I'm not in a very good energetic way, I don't like to be out in front of a lot of people, because my energy affects people a lot. Everybody's energy affects everybody. You can't do nothing about it. It's the law of vibration and frequency. So that's what instantly.
Dang it. She's got good stuff.
I know. I was thinking, what you were saying, Jennifer, is it makes me think of, I have to be very aware of my energy, because even if I feel like I'm holding it in, like I'll be like, oh, you felt that? And I had a friend be like,
Yeah.
the whole room can feel it, because when you are a powerful energy, like you affect others. And even if, like, I've noticed that my power is that I can, like, be like tantalize, almost like my energy goes in and like tickles their senses to like be silly or like lighten the mood or whatever. Like, but when I am angry, like people feel it even if I'm not trying to like put it out there. So being aware of your energy is very important.
It really is.
I feel bad she's having such problems. Your poor thing. All right, maybe we need to say a prayer. No, love and light, and any energies that are not here trying, like, sabotage, like love and light, and only good energies here. So we forgot to say a prayer before an intention prayer before our podcast. Sometimes that helps, because I feel like when we're doing good work, especially, sometimes it tries to get sabotaged.
Yes,
Yeah,
and definitely. And electronics go different too. They'll go in and out, and because it really is a frequency and energy that gets sent out. And definitely I did a total intentions and forgiveness as well. And I can tell that the energy is strong today. So this is kind of exciting. So yeah. And I would really love to know about why you felt inspired to reach out to me, not knowing I had cancer, and wanted to do the Akashic reading on me. I mean, I know why you did, because I've been sending that stuff out, for like-minded people to come out to me. But I'm just curious of how you felt my ripple and my call towards you.
I love this question, because I do everything by intention, and if I'm thinking of someone, there's a reason. But I, like, when we met, like it was kind of in passing, and I knew we would eventually work together, but it wasn't like the time at the time we met. But like, you're just a bright light spirit, and like you just kept coming up on my YouTube feed. And so I'm like, okay, I think I meant to it's time to reach out to Jennifer, because we just revamped. I hadn't really done, this is only our third podcast, coming back after like a year, because I worked in the wilderness for a year. And when you work in the wilderness, that is your whole life, because you're like home 10 days a month. And so like you really can't do anything else. And so, and it's lovely, because I do honestly feel the goddesses have helped guide us. And because Medusa is our next goddess of the month, when I found out you had cancer and that it was going to line up with this, I was like, oh, okay, it's meant to be, because it has been all synchronistic in the intention. And because she is the goddess of healing trauma, healing, healing, like letting go of those stuck energies. And when you have those healing traumas, if you need like an extra source, like, goddesses are not there to worship, they're there to be a guide for you and help you release what they have been through. And like a sister, like, if calling out to this person, to this higher being, to help you understand how to release things. And when you call for that, like, the only things that come to me, I'll just go on Instagram, and exactly what I'm thinking of, the very first thing that pops up is a quote that's totally relevant to what I'm thinking. I'm like, I mean, because when you're in that vibration of flow, and you're only seeking out those things that they will all come to you. So I think that is why, it's like, it just felt time. And then we kept having synchronicity issues. So I'm like, it happened when it happens. And so I appreciate you so much. Like, you are such a bright light. And Tracy, by the way, you are an amazing unicorn, and you are also a bright light. And I appreciate you both so much and all the bright lights.
Aw.
Yeah. So that.
Well, thank you. Hey, by the way, I'm just going to throw this in there. So I've been working on, so since I decided my highest possibility path for my life existence that I'm following, I created a show that's going to be positive and hopeful and full of awakening through my cancer journey. It'll show pictures of me very, very sick, and then me now 8 months later. And my husband and I are going to be singing original songs. And one of them I wrote called When's a Good Time to Love, and to help people still appreciate and love life in the midst of chaos that's playing out right now, to be that calm in the storm, and that light for others in need. So, and that's going to be August 9th, this August 9th at the Logan High School. And tickets are on sale. And the whole purpose of the show is to raise the vibration of everyone in the audience. And I've definitely been sending out my light and my love so that the time they leave, they'll have more appreciation for life and for themselves and for their physical body and for their families, and to love their spouse a little more today, and forgive and let go of the bad things in their past, and all within a half hour of my time. And so I'm pretty excited to be a part of that. So if you guys want to go, it's called Tune Out Cancer. And yeah, tickets are on sale August 9th at the Logan High School. And I could probably send you a little link to that. But, and then also some of the proceeds are going to go to the kids for their meals. And so it's a helpful day to help society and all the rest of us as humanitarians to help one another out. So it's going to be a nice, charitable, beautiful, uplifting night. So I want to invite each and every one of you.
Yay, I love that. I'll put the link in the description. And also what I have been doing, because I realized there's all these tools on YouTube and things, like you can do playlists and stuff. So I'm gonna put like playlists for each goddess. So I'll probably put some of your videos in there, and it'll just be under Goddess Jennifer.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
your song is amazing. It actually inspired a meme that I wrote that said, "Anytime is a good time for love." So your song is amazing.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. That's all intention and purpose of it for sure. So yeah, so that's cool. So that's coming up. And creating things, I've noticed not just living in the moment and surviving and living in survival mode, but just relaxing, like you say, out in nature. And I live in a beautiful little cool place that I can relax and enjoy nature. But it is important to plan for something like events, and plan for your future, and like I'm learning the piano, and I'm learning new things every single day, and I'm creating shows or writing a little book, or doing things that I think will make a difference that I can leave behind, and while I'm here. And so and affecting as many people as possible, in a happy way and a more empowering way, while I exist, is just something I plan on every single day, stepping into, and it gives me more things to look forward to and to live for, instead of not having anything, or not knowing what your purpose is, or feeling in that downer mode that people get, where what's the use? I'm just going to wake up and do the same thing over and over again every single day. And that's true. And that's what true depression is knowing that you are tired of playing the same character that you've been playing your whole life, and to step into something new. And I would really love to go to that nature thing, whatever you're doing, and going out and about I would love to go explore. So I'm sending that out to the world. I totally want to explore and meet more people and just be my light and whatever come what may to everyone around me. I just wish the best for and because I know that they are me and I want the best for me and I want the best for you. Because what's best for you is best for me and best for everybody. So yeah. Aw, you guys
Yay.
sweet.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for doing this. And I'm sure we will reconnect again. And I'm going to finish typing up your Akashic reading today. And when you were saying your guide, you have many guides and they were all in the room.
Oh,
And
awesome.
I did something I'd never done before. Like I actually, because I just read The Power of One, or I'd listened to it again. Not The Power of One, the Law of
The
One.
law one.
And
Okay.
it talked about like the vessel. And I was like, okay, I'm like, I am the vessel. So before I started, I asked how I could channel better and be comfortable. And I ended up getting like a chalice of water and like crystals. And oh my gosh. So it was, your guides helped a lot. And also just,
Yay!
they are, they love you so much.
Oh, and you as well. This is good.
Yay. So
Well,
I
thank
will type that
you.
up and send it to you today. So yeah, I
Oh,
love
thank you so much.
Akashic readings. Whenever I do them, I'm like, yes, I was meant to do this. It is my favorite thing and I love it. So
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your love and talents with me. And I'm so grateful for your learning and spark and zest and the timing couldn't be more perfect.
aw, wonderful. Thank you so much. Anything else you want
You're
to say, Miss
welcome.
Tracy?
No, thank you for letting me be here. I just enjoy learning and I learned so much this last hour and a half. So it was amazing. Thank you.
Aw, my heart. Thank you guys too. And you guys create good memories today deliberately and
Totally.
finish out this evening knowing you are fulfilled with love every day. Good job, guys.
I just
Love
had
you.
a glow up, so I'm doing great.
Awesome. Okay, well, take care.
Bye
Keep in touch.
guys.
Okay, see you.
Love you.
I love you.